The Other Daughter, Chapter 15, I Am the Affair Baby. That's right, the living, breathing reminder of every scandalous headline and whispered judgment. Ezra and I went to the police station to give our statements. The police opened a case and started reviewing nearby surveillance footage to identify the criminals. But deep down, I knew I'd have to accept the loss and move on. This was a harsh reminder for me of just how ruthless Delilah is. Years ago, she used just a macaron to quietly and cleanly eliminate my brother. Now, she's using the same despicable tactics against me. If the first attempt doesn't work, she'll try again and again. But I'm not the same person I was back then. I've established myself at Nova and gained access to its most critical secrets. After carrying this grudge for 7 long years, it's time to settle the score. Ever since I came back to this city, I haven't stopped looking for Amanda, the nanny who worked in my father's house at the time. My father told me that right after Jamie's death, Delilah immediately laid off her. Her full name is Amanda Hart, and she's originally from a small town in Texas. I hired a private investigator to track her down in her hometown, but we came up empty. She had no remaining family there, and it was as if she disappeared without a trace. Then, I decided to take another route. I had Nova's finance department audit old transactions. Since the Baldwin family's personal accounts were also managed through the company, everything was included in the review. That's when I found it, a $300,000 transfer from Delilah's account 7 years ago. The payment had been made to a temporary account. Following the trail, we discovered the account holder, Amanda Hart. With this lead, the investigator kept digging and finally uncovered her whereabouts. 7 years ago, Amanda Hart had come into a sudden windfall, changed her name to Helen Davis, and moved with her son to a small town in Texas. I went to Texas myself to confront her, but she denied everything. She knew admitting to her past would make her complicit in what happened. No matter how much I tried, reasoning, pleading, even threatening, she insisted she was Helen Davis and claimed she didn't know Delilah or my brother Jamie. It was clear that convincing Amanda to testify against Delilah was a dead end. Before leaving Texas, I visited her one last time. She was as unyielding as ever, acting like nothing could sway her. This time, I didn't mention the past. Instead, I glanced around her rundown house and shook my head. Casually, I remarked, sitting on a gold mine and living like this, you really don't know how to make the most of your opportunities. Her murky eyes sharpened for a split second. I knew then that she'd figured out what to do. A few months later, I found myself staring at a detailed report of Delilah's bank transactions on my desk. All I could think was how poetic it was. Evil finds its own reckoning. Amanda started small, asking for $50,000 at a time. But as the months went on, her demands grew larger and more frequent. Greed truly knows no limits. From what I know about Delilah, she doesn't care much about the money. What terrifies her is the leverage Amanda now has. A secret that could destroy her. I can only imagine the panic she feels, watching everything spiral out of control. All I have to do now is wait for the perfect moment to close the net. Seeing her live in constant fear, never knowing when her world will collapse, is far more satisfying than any quick revenge. But I've kept all of this from Andrew. To me, he's pure, untainted. He doesn't need to see this side of me or be dragged into these schemes. That said, he still hasn't told his family about us. Aside from Ezra, no one in his family even knows we're together. I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. Still, I tell myself he just needs more time. For him, I'm willing to wait.